Okay, mamas, raise your hand if you've ever gone to Google or Facebook and felt like the worst mom ever after reading the comments about how you should be doing this at this time or should be doing that at this other time. Raise your hand, because I'm sure every one of us has felt that way. Hey guys, Sarah here from Work Life Glue, back for my strong-willed parenting series, and today for Mother's Day I just wanted to give you guys some encouragement as mamas to kids who you created, but you definitely did not get any say in their personality. So I just want to give you guys some encouragement, because sometimes as moms it can be really hard, especially in this era of social media where you can compare to all these people. There's timelines for everything you could possibly think of, and it's so easy to worry or feel guilty about where your children are at if they don't follow the perfect timeline. When it comes to raising kids, there are all sorts of experts online. Some tell you you have to cry it out. Some say never cry it out. You're a horrible parent if you cry it out. Some people say you should spank or you're just spoiling your kids, and some people say you should never spank because you're wrecking your kids if you spank. I mean, it is so hard to parent when you have both sides of the spectrum from experts. I mean, I'm sure they are experts, but how can you both be experts if you're telling us the exact opposite thing? And it can kind of drive you crazy if you let it. So today I'm going to give you guys some encouragement about mamahood. I am here today to tell you that there's no right way to parent. There's no one size fits all with parenting. Every parent's different, every schedule's different, every kid is different. They all have different needs, personalities, and every life is different, and everybody's style is different, and what might work for one of your kids may not work for your other. And it can be really hard. I about drove myself crazy after our second daughter was born, because everybody told me, make sure your first daughter is potty trained, make sure she's in her toddler bed, make sure she doesn't use her pacifier anymore, make sure this, make sure that. And I felt, first of all, I was so sick during that pregnancy. I was caring for 10 kids full time as my job, and it was just like, how am I gonna do this? And I put all this pressure on it. I tried potty training my daughter at 2.5. It was awful. I gave her apple juice because that's what I read I was supposed to do, and I gave her diarrhea all over the place. So it's just like a nightmare because I followed what everybody else said. And now, after Bryony was born, our second daughter, I had this like panic attack with my husband, and I was just like, I don't know what to do. She's not in a bed, she takes her pacifier still, and this, that, and the other thing, and I just don't know what to do. And she wants to go to I want her to go to preschool, and what if she doesn't have it all down by then? And all this stress over these arbitrary dates online. By who? I don't even know these people, right? And now Celia, at 3 years old, on her 3rd birthday, was sleeping in a toddler bed, was pacifierless, and was potty trained pretty much all on her own. I did basically nothing. So today I want to encourage you guys that it is okay to wait. Some people might transition their child to a toddler bed at 18 months, and that's okay. Some people may still have their kid in a crib until they're 4, which is what I really want to do with my second born, because bedtimes are nightmares with strong-willed kids. So that is okay. You're not going to wreck your child if they're in a crib till they're 4. You're not. If you want to do baby-led weaning at 6 months, great. If you want to feed them purees till they're a year old, great. Doesn't really matter. You want to sleep through the night, right? Who doesn't? Do you let your kid cry it out? Do you wait it out? Do you sit outside the door and slowly inch out? What do? It doesn't matter. Just pick one and do it. And you know what? You don't have to tell anybody. It's your kid. You're not wrecking your kid, whatever you choose. Pacifiers. I felt awful. I felt like a horrible parent because my daughter still had a pacifier at 2.5, only when she was sleeping, I will add that. But I felt like, oh my gosh, she shouldn't have a pacifier. You know what? She finally got holes in all her pacifiers, and I refused to buy her more. And guess what she does now? She sucks her thumb. So I get to be guilty about that now and have to worry about weaning her off of that, which is more detrimental to her teeth, and I can't get rid of her thumb. So yeah, there's that. So even when you try to do what people say, your kid's gonna possibly throw you for a loop anyway. Potty training. I have read just about everything you can read about potty training. Some say do it early. Some say wait till they're ready. Some say don't do it at all. Just let them kind of decide to do it. Some say do the 3-day weekend. I tried the 3-day weekend, didn't work for me. And then I waited until she was at least more willing and picked a time, and we just got rid of the diapers. And we weren't too crazy about it. We didn't have her go every so often. We just let her pee in her pants, and honestly, pooping was a whole nother story, but she's officially potty trained. And you know what? It wasn't on somebody else's timeline, and when I let it go, it happened. It happened sooner than I even thought it would, because I was no longer putting pressure on it. Weaning from breastfeeding. Should you wait till your baby says they're ready? Should you wait till a year? Should you wait till 2 years? Should you breastfeed till 5? What should you do? And you know what? It's really nobody else's business. When it all comes down to it, it's nobody else's business. You're not a horrible parent for giving your child formula. You're not a horrible parent for pumping, then bottle feeding. You're not a horrible parent if you supplement with formula and breastfeed. You're not a horrible parent if you breastfeed till 3. It really doesn't matter. And you know what? If they can have more of it, great. If they can't, great. It really doesn't matter. And quite honestly, I nursed my first until she was 2, and I plan to wean at 1 because I'm just sick of it. And does that make me a horrible mom? Maybe. Maybe I'm a horrible mom, but I like to be able to get away from my house once in a while and not have to worry about being a walking refrigerator and wondering if she's gonna take a bottle or whatever. I don't know a greater sacrifice than breastfeeding exclusively, so if I'm a bad mom, then sue me, but I've exclusively breastfed 2 babies now, and if I want to quit after a year, I'm gonna quit after a year. Enough said, mic drop. The whole point of this video is just to show you there's no right way to parent. Obviously there are some wrong ways, but this is just talking about general guidelines. What you read on the internet may not work for you. What your friend says works for their kid and they are dead set and that's the best way, it may not work for your kid. They have different DNA, they have a different life than their kids, and that's okay. Don't let anybody tell you that you are wrong in these kinds of things. Don't let anybody tell you you're bad, and don't let yourself. We're our worst critic, you guys, and don't get down on yourself because preschool is looming over your head and you want your kid to be potty trained. They will be potty trained eventually. It may not be on the timeline you want, but that's okay. Let's just stop on this Mother's Day, embrace where we're at. You know, these kids need us. These kids, this is their childhood. You only have a few precious years in the whole scope of their life with them. Instead of worrying about, you know, the milestones that they're not checking off in time or what have you, let's just worry about making sure we're actually embracing this season, loving and cherishing even those meltdowns, even when they bite your nipple, whatever it may be. Let's just embrace it, love on each other, not be so hard on ourselves, and just cherish where we're at. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you next time. Happy Mother's Day. Bye, guys.